Dinner, 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 dinner. Dinner time. Nearly, anyway. Having a nice vegetarian chili tonight with some sour cream, loads of cheese, and obviously some nice nachos to go with it. Get in my belly. Anyway, we're getting near the end, aren't we? What's going to happen after flying me home? Do I need another book? Shall I do something different each day? Do some juggling? Build a Lego model? I don't know. You let me know. I'm going to do the Zoom thing with you next week and we can discuss maybe what I can record for you each day, if indeed I do it. Anyway, new chapter. New hat. Same Jack. And cuddly penguin. My name's Peanut. And I'm a dead penguin. Chapter 46. Oh my gosh. But of course, I knew it wasn't over. She just got on the bus, remember, ran away, and Tiber was in the bin. I knew where Tiber was, and I had to get back to him. They didn't know that I was his sister. They had no reason to link my being there behind the bin with what they had done to Tiber. But I didn't know what they were planning. I had to rescue him before they did anything else. I got off the bus after a few stops and then walked back to the block another way, hiding in front gardens behind cars if I had anyone coming. When I got closer, I could see the boys still standing by the bins. So I tucked myself away behind a wall and listened. That's me listening. They were telling Trip that they had lost me. They were still out of breath from the chase. Trip said something I couldn't hear and then I heard their footsteps. I looked up slowly over the wall to see them disappear into the block. And when I stood up, the square was as empty as when I'd first arrived. I waited for a few moments and then I dashed back to the bin, my feet light on the ground. My legs were throbbing from running. If the boys came back, I knew I wouldn't be able to outrun them again. The bin was made of metal and had one of those tops that looks like a lid, only now I noticed it had been tied shut. 3 lines of blue rope circled it. They'd been tied over and over in an elaborate knot. He had to be in there. I knocked it as I heard the boys do. There was nothing. Tiber, I said, as loudly as I dared. Tiber! No sound came from the bin. Tiber, it's Lilu. I'm here, I've come to get you. Please answer me. My voice had turned wavy. I couldn't control it. And that's when I heard it. Clunk, clunk. An answering knock to my call. And a sound too. I had to press my ear against the bin to hear it. It was only a murmur. As soft as a sigh. Lulu. Crikey, that was a short chapter. I think I'm going to go on. My fingers struggled with the tight coils of the knot. The cold made them numb and stiff. Hang on, Tiber, I told him. Hang on. I thought I'd never be able to undo it, but finally, one rope came a little loose and I was able to pull the rest away. It took me a couple of goes to wrench the lid open fully, and when I did, it fell open with a clang that made me look around in case anyone had heard. He was lying underneath some flattened cardboard boxes and rubbish. Aww. There were chicken bones and takeaway boxes and plastic bags full of things like vegetable peelings and crumpled cans. Tiber! Tiber! I couldn't stop crying his name, but then I heard him say, shh! They might come back. I swallowed hard and looked behind me at the door. They'd disappeared. Can you stand? Can you get out? I'm not sure, he said. Every word sounded like an effort. See if you can, Tiber. We've got to get you out. He managed to lift off some of the cardboard and I pulled it out. After that, he could just about stand if he held onto the side of the bin for support. Can you do it? Should I go and get help? No, he almost shouted it. Don't leave, I can do it. It took him a couple of tries. Then he jumped high enough to get his top half out of the bin. Then he started to fall forward, out of control, head first onto the hard stone of the pavement. I rushed to catch him and he toppled onto me. He was heavier than he looked, but neither of us was hurt. Well, not from that anyway. Tiber didn't look like himself anymore. His face was so changed, it was distorted and thick in all the wrong places. I could see that he wouldn't be able to open his right eye even if he wanted to. All the skin around it was puffy. though blown up like a balloon. An angry-looking cut traced all the way down his cheek. From a distance, it reminded me of the winding lines rivers make on maps. One of his arms hung limply by his side. Put the boxes back inside and close the lid, Tiber told me, so they won't know I'm gone immediately. I did as he said. I remembered the way the lid hung heavily and made sure that I closed it gently so it didn't make a sound. I kept expecting the voices to return again. My fingers fumbled awkwardly. I tried to retie the rope around the bin, but I couldn't make it look the same. In the end, it was Tiber who said, "Leave it. Let's get out of here." We started the slow hobble back to our house. Tiber tried to walk by himself, but he kept crying out in pain. After that, he leaned on me, gripping my shoulder so tightly it hurt.
Ow!
We walked in unison as though we were doing some awful version of a three-legged race. It took a long time. All the while, both of us kept looking behind us. When we reached our street and the dark blue door of our house was in sight, Tiber stumbled. He lay motionless on the ground. I don't think he had anything more to give. The dog, who'd been sitting outside Beau's house, ran over to us. I rushed ahead to our house. I could see that the light was on. Our dog circled around Tiber, protectively barking. Oh, oh. Mum flung open the door before I reached it. "Lulu, what?" But before she finished, I gasped, "Oh, we've got him!" She ran over to him, shouting for me to call an ambulance. And Tiber lay there, unmoving and silent. Oh, I hope he's all right. I really do hope he's all right. I think he will be all right. Anyway, it's all for me. One more day of it tomorrow. I might keep going over the bank holiday weekend because, you know what, we'll be done. And then we've got another Zoom meeting on Wednesday. And have a talk. Maybe I can read another book, or might have some other ideas for what you want me to do. But anyway, one more day of homeschooling this week. Stay safe, stay happy, stay curious, and stay YouTube penguin face.